of how it was, and bring us, to present day life. Yeah, he is a security expert, a security advisor. He is CP Chooks. It's always a pleasure having you around in the studio, on Thursdays like this. So glad to have you join us in the studio. Good afternoon to you, sire.
Good afternoon to you and to the listeners.
Good. CP.
Yes.
I want to start on this note. Yeah. I want to start on this note and for all those celebrating their birthdays today, if today happens to be your birthday, I want to celebrate you today. I would also ask CP, but then let me hold on for now. Let me just hold on for now. We have a whole lot to discuss, to talk about today. From one issue, very, very, pressing issue to another. A whole lot happening. But then, hey, let me tell you what, let me give you the highlights, all right, of what you should expect to hear this afternoon on the show. I understand that the DSS is threatening currently. Should I say threat? Are they threatening, or they are just saying things the way they are, or they are warning people, or what are they actually doing? But then DSS is telling, or rather APC and PDP, these two parties are telling the DSS to arrest interim government plotters. So it means that, excuse me, some persons are jittering already that some political parties or some persons in the country, some powers that be, are planning an interim government. Okay. Lagos, Nigeria, the world. Follow us on this show today. Again, a cleric is saying that the plot to truncate Tinubu's swearing in, dangerous. Is a cleric. You get to find out who that cleric is. Just to touch on, some highlights for you this afternoon. Yeah, beautiful highlights. Just right here. And on the other end, Bode George is saying, I'm waiting for the verdict of a tribunal before leaving Nigeria. He's considering leaving either to Ghana or to, one of these African countries, actually. Again, since CP is a security personnel, I mean, he is a security expert and an advisor, I thought we should discuss this big one here, where CSOs are insisting that those behind 450 cases of poll violation, should be arrested or punished. Now, some persons were caught destructing the polls. But there are people behind those people who were sent, who sent them to cause, all of those mayhem, all of those things. So they are asking them to also be arrested, to fish them out. All right, may I also let you know that we will be talking on the fact that the U.S. is giving, pro-OB group permission to use the iconic park for anti-Tinubu protest. You'll get to find out all of that too. All right, these and more, what you should be expecting on this show this beautiful afternoon. But do well to go straight up to YouTube right now and join the conversation. VOP 90.3 FM, okay? Voice of the People 90.3 FM on YouTube. Watch us live, and please, I want you to drop your own comments so I can, let's analyze these issues, like I said, without bias, all right? The way it is exactly, without fear or favor, okay? Let's analyze this issue. So Feel free to also use our WhatsApp portal if you can. 0700 903 9039. I'll take it again. 0700 903 9039. Yeah, on WhatsApp. And like I told you, YouTube, VOP 90.3 FM, right? Just go there and search bar, type VOP 90.3 FM. Then to the comment section, go there and drop your comment. Good. 12:48 p.m. All right, let's get talking. CP, the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress and, of course, the People's Democratic Party have challenged the Department of State Services to get tough with plotters of the interim national, government. The councils, in separate interviews, said the push for the ING was unconstitutional. That is, when I say ING, I mean interim national government, right? They said it was unconstitutional, adding that the plotters should be arrested. They spoke against the backdrop of a statement issued by the security agency that some people were plotting, the interim national government. CP, does it call for any worry? Are you worried? I mean, what do you feel with this statement here?
Well, I took that piece of information making the rounds with a pinch of salt.
Pinch of salt?
Yes.
Wow.
Pinch of salt in the sense that the old DSS or the old SSS we used to know don't talk anyhow.
Okay.
They act. Then at the end of the day, people will now begin to question what happened. Sometimes when I see such releases, I keep wondering, are you sure it's not fake news? Or is this actually coming from that agency? You don't need to come out to begin to hit the polity when it is absolutely not necessary. If you have your facts, work on them. Bring out those so-called perpetrators and tell us this and this and this are the persons. One, this and this and this are the offenses they have committed. Two, follow the due process and then the rule of law. If they have violated any section of the law or the Constitution, then they should carry their cross. They'll face the full wrath of the law. I mean, there's no need being sensational and playing politics with serious security issues like this. So a lot of us who have been in the security circle are watching. Let us see how the thing will play out, how it will unfold itself, rather than making statements that are yet to be substantiated. We are watching. Let's. It's not just coming to give us headlines. Let us see the action.
You mean you see these as headlines?
Of course. We are seeing it as headline. It's not necessary. These are things that, need to be done in a very... And they are working. Maybe they are overwhelmed by their strength. Probably they don't have sufficient manpower, just like other agencies. It's even like police is having close to 400,000. That's not still enough for a population of about 200 million. So these are the things. But having said that, I know the DSS as an agency is having some challenges, maybe in terms of logistics and so on and so forth. Because the old SSS that metamorphosed into the DSS used to be dreaded those times when they were the NSO, Nigerian Security Organization.
Okay.
It was created by Obasanjo when he was military head of state in 1976 after the Dimka coup of 13th February that took the life of the former head of state, General Murtala Mohammed, on 13th of February 1976. So he brought out the E department, the intelligence department of the police, and made them the NSO, Nigerian Security Organization. And then they've had people like Rafin Dadi and Shinkafi as heading those organizations. It was after the coup of 27th of August 1985 that toppled Muhammadu Buhari, then Major General and military head of state, by Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, that he balkanized the NSO into 3 agencies. The NIA, National Intelligence Agency, which is supposed to profile and do intelligence for the nation on international space. Then we have the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, to handle purely defense matters. And then the SSS then, State Security Service, which is what we call the DSS today.
Yeah.
And by then, you don't even see them. You don't know them.
Okay.
They were operating like spirits. And there was so much results. But these days, you see people, they'll be wearing clothes, inscription, DSS. I cannot figure it out. They wear black and black. They'll drive around. Then people can be saying, that man now is DSS. You see them even in restaurants and places. They'll park vehicle. It remains for them to write on the vehicle DSS. Things like this are not done in civilized climes that we are trying to copy. In US and Europe and even in Asia, the secret agents can mingle with you, eat with you, live with you. You won't know where they are part of. And they will be communicating, conveying their messages. They will profile intelligence. And when they eventually say something or strike, that is exactly what it is. And the man talking, you don't even know him. You can't identify him. His photograph, you cannot see it anywhere. You can't even say that this man is a secret agent. The story is completely different in what we are seeing today. So I don't know. I don't know the direction they set.
But what would you say has happened over time?
Decay, decadence.
In the system?
Of course, generally. That is why we have found ourselves owing 77 trillion on internal and external debts. Are we even thinking of 3 to 4 generations to come? We are leaving so much burden for them. It's a thing of worry. For us today, we're able to make ends meet one way or the other. But for them to come, are we even planning or thinking of those younger generations, the future generations that will be the future leaders?
CP,
yes.
You are a commissioner of police.
Yes.
Let's even break this down.
Okay.
What is the core duty of the DSS? What are they supposed to be doing?
State security, intelligence, profiling it, and working on it, and preventing people from, doing either espionage against the interest of state, and people who have intention to plot to bring down the government of the state, and security generally. That's the definition of what their duty is. And they are expected to do more of covert operations. Then those days when they were SSS, sometimes they will make arrests and hand over to the police or any other agency, depending on the nature of the case. If they stumble on drugs, they'll push to NDLEA. If it is purely criminal matters, they push to police.
But now it seems to me that the DSS is also performing the duty of the police. Like sometimes you don't really know where or what they're supposed to be doing.
That is the thing. Because if you look at it constitutionally and matter of practice and procedures, you hardly see DSS go to court to prosecute cases and maybe give evidence in cases. It's difficult. They cannot. It is constitutionally, it's not their duty. That is why when they catch offenders, they do their profiling, do their preliminary investigations, and transfer it to whoever should manage the case. It's even like the military. Have you ever seen the military in the court coming to give evidence or to prosecute cases? It's not part of their mandate. It's not their duty. That's why when they arrest criminals and profile them, because all the services have what they call their own either police or provost marshal for the security agencies. They have the naval police, they have the naval intelligence, they have the air police, they have the air intelligence, they have the MIA, military intelligence, and as well as military police, MPs, the ones with red beret and white, mufflers and all that. So when you commit an offense and the military catches you, they profile you. If it is drug, they push the NDLEA. If it is oil bunkering, these days, they'll bring in a civil defense. If it is criminally related matters, kidnapping, armed robbery, and so heinous crimes, they hand over to the police. If it is drug, NDLEA. Then if it is purely military matter, they'll set up within the military and court-martial those people, especially if they are military offenders. Then if they are civil offenders, they cannot try them within the military constituency because the military law does not apply to them as civilians. Whether they have committed a crime with military personnel or not, they'll separate the chaff from the wheat. They'll deal with the military men, and for the civilians, depending on the nature of the offense, they'll push them to the civil security agencies. That's the way the thing works.
Okay, now, don't you think, if the DSS really wants to work, really wants to perform its duties, they should start from where these issues, they should begin from where these issues started. For instance, let's go back to pre-election cases, the pre-election warnings and all of that happened before the election, where, like I mentioned, someone in Lagos, Oluomo, said
so, yes.
And it happened exactly.
Exactly.
We thought by now some persons would have been arrested.
Yes. Yes. But anyway, let us not draw a conclusion yet, because the police.
But it seems as if nothing is going to happen. Look,
wait, now we are watching. The police told us that there are some people in their custody concerning electoral offenses. One of my classmates, AIG Daso, who has also just retired, is a lawyer from Rivers State, used to head the committee that was investigating all the electoral offenses nationwide. Okay. He moved his office from Kaduna to Force Headquarters, Abuja. And we have been told that a large number of suspects are in custody. So how are we sure that some of those people they are pointing fingers at are not part of those suspects? That's why it will be hasty conclusion for us to just say that so and so did this and they are walking around freely. Let us see. At the end of the day, nothing is hidden. If they are not part of the people in the custody, time will tell. We will know where exactly they are and why they have not been, placed in to face complaints or charges that would have been raised against them.
You know, when I started this show, I said I would say some things without bias,
Yes.
without fear, and
Or
without
favor.
favor.
Of course, why should
If you
you?
remember,
Yes.
when Femi Fani-Kayode was with what party was that?
He has been in many parties. It's only Labour he has not joined, and I'm sure maybe sometime he may still go to Labour. He's a free enterprise. Once you're a politician, you can move from anywhere to anywhere.
CP,
Yes.
wait.
Okay.
He was with I think he was a member of the PDP.
Yes, and also later to APC, back to PDP, then again to APC.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yes.
Now, I remember Oluomo said something
Yes.
that if you join the All Progressives Congress,
Yes.
your sins will be automatically forgiven.
Are you sure he said so? Or they said he said so?
Well, he said so.
Well, put it that it was alleged.
Allegedly.
That's in law. That's the way to play safe.
Allegedly
It
said.
was alleged, or it seems, so that you'll be very free when they want to take you to court.
Good.
Yes.
Good. He said, when you join the All Progressives Congress, your sins will be forgiven.
Yes.
While Femi Fani-Kayode was with the PDP,
Yes.
after a statement, he's always arrested, if you remember.
I do.
His arrest was kind of frequent. But when he joined the All Progressives Congress,
Yes.
he say things and, go away with it. Nothing happens.
Well, those things he's saying are political statements now. And many people are saying a lot of things.
But it's insightful. What has the DSS done? It started from there. Yes.
Well, all those things, everything that has a beginning must have an end. We have not seen the end yet. Until we get there, we'll know how things will turn out. It's too early or too premature to draw conclusions now.
They say we're all working towards a perfect Nigeria, a perfect country.
Yes.
And if we must do this, then, this is democracy. We all have to speak up.
Exactly.
And address issues the way, they're supposed to be addressed.
Exactly.
Now, I wouldn't like it when we are one-sided. Just like some presidents in Lagos recently want to start bringing this issue of ethnicity and all of that just to break. And I tell people, I said, see.
That's handiwork of politicians, of course.
Yes, politicians.
Yes.
We all fought
divide and rule.
Divide and rule. We all fought for, the independence of this country. And now we gained it. After independence, what we're now fighting ourselves. We're now naming ourselves. No, this one is Omo Igbo. This one is Omo Yoruba. This one is Hausa.
That's why
Aboki.
That's
whatever.
Those are weapons of politicians to actualize their interests. And it's unfortunate, maybe due to illiteracy and high level of poverty, that is really affecting the wretched of the earth, the masses. And they are succumbing to those gimmicks. In developed economies, you can't try that nonsense. And that is why each time I talk, I always emphasize one thing. When people are out on the streets, burning tires, destroying people's properties, movable and immovable assets, you now ask, who are the people leading them? Those ones that incite them to go and do those things, where are they? Are they in the vanguard? They are not there.
Okay.
Where are their children and their families? They are not there. They are in their comfort zone, possibly not even within the country. So why will people expose themselves and their families to danger to satisfy some other person's inordinate ambition? I am in the school of thought that our people need massive enlightenment and total reorientation. So that when they bring this pittance they give them to go and put their lives on the line, they'll tell them, go away with that, your rubbish. Go and bring your son, let him lead, then we can follow. Go and bring your children. You think there is no blood flowing in our vein? We are made of steel and wood. We are the ones that are good to go and shed our blood. You know, and in some of the platforms or forum I find myself in the social media, I'm a very critical person. I try as much as I can to be very, very objective. I'll tell them, these ones you're fighting yourselves. These people you are fighting for, do they even know that you're existing? And unfortunately, many of you are professors, doctors, professionals, and you're killing yourselves. You're having sleepless nights. You are a disgrace to whichever profession that you belong to. Let them come themselves and lead the fight. Let me even tell them, in most cases, I'll tell them the day they will do swearing in, the day they will choose cabinets, the day they will, after swearing, they will be having banquet and clicking glass. All those things, persons you see as their opposition will be there celebrating with them. And when it is time to do appointments, they won't even know. You and your professor, they won't even know that you're existing.
Just like when Buhari's daughter got married.
Yes.
The political class that came.
Of course.
From all parties.
Of course.
You would think nothing happened. Like these guys are just one and the same.
Before Uncle. That's why I expect Nigerians to put their thinking cap and on that line begin to guide the uninformed. Those people that live in Makoko and on top of Lagos Lagoon. Those are the ones they use. People that have no address. Those ones that sleep under Ojueleba Bridge. That sleep under the bridge in Oshodi and so on and so forth. What is the identity? Where are they coming from? You don't even know. These are the ones they use. Because these ones are helpless and hopeless. It's of us to move at least a step forward and getting them engaged, usefully engaged, improve their level of education. They won't want them to be educated. They won't want them to get exposure. They will not want them to improve their lives. They believe that these are the ones they will give pittance and use them to go and level a community if it is possible. Go and destroy people's businesses. Is that not wickedness? And we have this thing happening year in, year out, and especially around political, electoral times. Once it is time for election and all that, you start seeing all sorts of rubbish and nonsense. These are things that never happen in between the electoral processes, the key election times. It doesn't happen before that. Then why is it that it is the time is coming around, they start hitting the polity? All they are interested in is how to perpetuate and perpetrate themselves in power. I mean, the third world countries, they have a long way to go, and I really pity the setting. It is really, really unfortunate, to say the least.
Yeah, now, it seems that some let me not say political parties, no, but some key people in the country are scared. They are jittery already. There's been, allegedly, there's been a couple of prophecies here and there as regards what will happen, during or after the election. And now it's after the election, I came across some prophecies by some respected, clerics in Nigeria, saying that there's going to be this, there's going to be that, there's going to be that after the election, this, and funny enough, it's a kind of playing out that way. Some don't believe in these things, but
I don't either.
Okay, good. But then I see things going that way, But then what I want to find out is that, is it that the DSS actually knows these people? They know them, and some will feel that since you know them, why not go and
that is exactly the thing now.
Arrest people I mean, instead of
giving us headlines.
They are warning protesters.
You can't warn protesters. Warn them for what? Will be protesters so long as they are not violent. That's why if you look at Abuja, protests has been going on for the past 1 week, even going close to 10 days. Have you heard of any destruction? They've been conducting themselves lawfully. And these are organized set of movements. So, and while they are doing that, you notice that some security agencies are around them to make sure that miscreants will not hijack.
Okay.
It is their constitutional right. It's provided in the Constitution. It is their fundamental human rights. It's only when you cross the line, when you cross the red line and begin to go into people's property and into other people's lives who have refused to join you as part of that movement, then you now want to disrupt their lives and destroy their property, whether movable or fixed assets, then that is where we will now say that there is problem.
I have observed that our government, Nigeria, or the Nigerian government doesn't like protests at all.
Of course.
Like they don't like it.
Of course. Who would like protests? If it is in developed climes, fine.
Even when some group of persons are pushing their demands, they don't like it.
Yeah, of course.
Do you? I was surprised when I heard that there was a counter protest in Abuja, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Some persons are saying they don't want. I mean, the government should look at the previous election, and there are some persons coming, youths again, coming to say, hey, we like it. We are also youth.
Yeah, that's part of
we like
that's part of democracy. In quotes, democracy in quotes. That's part of it. It's part of what we have in
the same thing happened during NSAS.
Yes.
You know, we had counter protests. A set of youths coming from nowhere and saying that
my own concern and interest is that it should be peaceful. It should be peaceful. People, it's not. Look at the developed societies. You see people protesting. It's like a daily thing where they are disenchanted or they are not pleased with the happenings in their various societies and nations. But the one that gives worry is when it turns to, destruction of properties and lives, because you don't know who may end up being a victim. That's the one that gives so much worry.
CP,
Yes.
do you think that there is actually a plot, to bring in an interim government?
Well, whoever claimed there is should come and tell us how and bring out the plotters. Let them tell us. There is not just coming out to make a sensational statement as far as that is concerned. Bring out the people and tell us what they have done. We are in civil rule. We are in nascent democracy, if I should use that word. Because when we are really democratic, we will know. We have a civil rule, but the democracy is still wobbling. You talk of consolidated democracy, where people's vote must count, one. And two, where you don't oppress or intimidate or deny people from casting their votes. Where you don't bring in tribe or religion and use it as a tool or weapon in the electoral process. And finally, where the election will be seen by all the all the stakeholders, both locally and internationally, to be free, to be fair, and to be credible. That is where you now know that the democracy is entrenched. It's not a process where it will be flawed with a lot of criticisms, both at home and abroad. And most of the criticisms, I don't want to say that they are confirmed facts. They are backed up with a lot of evidence. videos, photographs, and so on and so forth. I mean, it is a thing of worry. A thing of serious worry. And every subsequent one will say, let us hope it will improve. When we get there, it will even get worse than the previous ones, as alleged though. It's an unfortunate scenario.
Okay, now let me bring this in.
Yes.
Right now. Okay. A day after the result was declared, Atiku and Obi, at separate press conference on March the 2nd, rejected the outcome of the, on the grounds that the election was rigged. Also, a former Anambra State governor, Chukwuemeka Ezefe, stated that Tinubu would not be sworn in. This, I'm quoting a Punch newspaper.
Yes.
Stated that Tinubu would not be sworn in as president.
Okay.
Now, speaking on a television station on March, the 23rd, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Baba Ahmed, said the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Oluomo, must not swear in Tinubu on May the 29th. Is this where issues are, emanating from? Is this where, all of this DSS drama is,
I wouldn't know. It's left for them to tell us. That's why I say everybody should sit by and watch them play. Let whatever they have said, let it play out. Let it unfold. Then the statements of Chukwuemeka says, if the former civilian governor of Anambra State, and Baba Dati, the vice presidential candidate of
Labour Party.
Their statements borders on constitutional provision. So whatever they have said is subject to anybody taking it or not taking it. If you don't take it, come out and tell us why that statement is inappropriate, or why the statement they made has no legal undertone. That is the area I will want to stop at in that respect. I will not want to go into the issue of whether A won or B did not win, because it will be sub judice. It's already before the election tribunal, filed by both the opposition parties. So we don't need to go into points of law to begin to x-ray whether this thing will go this way or will go that way. I wouldn't want us to go into that. It will be sub judice to do that.
Let me even find out. Let me ask you.
Yes.
What happens when an interim government steps into a matter?
Well, an interim government.
You saw the Civil War, right?
Sorry?
The Civil War.
Not necessarily. An interim government is a rare case. It is usually a rare case, and it is circumstances that dictates such a scenario coming up. And it came up because it was a military dispensation. It was during the military interregnum of Babangida, following the annulment of June 12 election in 1993. So the military then saw themselves in a quagmire. We cannot continue to stay, and at the same time, we cannot hand over power to an election that we have already annulled. So what is the way forward? That was why the Armed Forces Ruling Council then sat and took a decision that come what may, on the 27th of August 1993, they will pull out completely, create an interim government, and tell them to hold the place till they are able to arrange another election that will now be more acceptable to the generality of Nigerians. So that interim government was headed by Ernest Shoneko, who was former chairman of UAC. And it became very difficult for the late former head of interim national government, because he has never been a politician. He has been a businessman and has been a chairman of UAC. Then picked some eminent Nigerians and formed the interim national government. And then brought in the late Sani Abacha, then the chief of defense staff, because of his military background, that he will be able to help them stabilize and control the riotous situation that was pervading all over the Southwest then. You know, the crisis was more in the Southwest. So that was why the interim government sat for only 82 days. By the 17th,
82 days.
82 days. By the 17th of November, 1993, the thing was getting out of hand. That was where Abacha now told them, look, I cannot sit here and this thing will continue like this. He now scraped the democratic structures and dissolved the interim national government and now formed the Provisional Ruling Council, PRC, then, and start off another regime where himself was the head of state, and Oladipo Davidson Dia of blessed memory became the chief of general staff as his deputy. Then he now brought in service chiefs in the persons of Chris Ale for the army, Alison Madeke for the navy,
I remember that.
Kumasi for the police, and I think Mike Aigbe for the navy. That was what happened then. So you can see the genesis and how such an interim thing came up then.
Now,
Because of military background. I don't know for civilians. We are yet to see how this one will materialize.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly why I asked this question. I love it the way you do.
Analyzed it.
You took a historical path, right?
Yes,
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, is it possible for this country to now still go back to these military dispensation?
My brother.
Military interim? Or,
No, we won't even bring in military into it.
Then how is it going to happen?
This is civilian dispensation, and we are doing a democracy. I will also want to go further back now, to the 60s. In the 60s, 1964, 65, there was elections in Western region then. The President Southwest Nigeria, yes, excluding Lagos then. And it was between the Action Group and Nigerian National Democratic Party, NNDP, a carve-out from Action Group. By then, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, late of the blessed memory, was in prison in Calabar. So it was Akintola, late SL Samuel Ladoke Akintola, that was heading the NNDP, which was in alliance with Northern People's Congress of Ahmadu Bello and late Tafawa Balewa. It became so riotous. That was the time we had Operation Wete in the Western region. It got so bad that they brought in a civilian in the person of Dr. Majako Dumi. I think he was a minister in the Western region, and made him the sole administrator, to hold the reins of government in the Western region. So that the dust will settle. You understand what I'm saying? So that the dust will settle for things to be reconciled. It was in that process of getting it settled that some military boys on the Saturday, 15th of January 1966 struck and caused what has really derailed the nascent democracy, the First Republic, and snowballed into a lot of other things. Killings, pogrom, genocidal civil war that lasted till 12th of January 1970. You know. So you can see the interim thing played out.
Okay.
First time in the 60s, 1965. You know. And then
1965.
Yes, late 65, following the crisis. And I'm sure it would have also played out after the 1983 election, is it 83 mandate, that the MPN won. They didn't call it landslide. They said they had moonslide victory. We are a place like Ondo. They said that Papa Ajashi of UPN lost the election to Akin Omobori.
It was bloody then.
That was what culminated to 31st December 1983, removal of the civilian government. Because the carnage in the southwest was terrible then, western region. There were states, it was Ondo State, and the same thing was also happening in Oyo, where Omololo Oloyin, the mathematician doctor, PhD, removed Bola Ige from MPN. You know, so that time, people like Richard Akinjide and so on, they were, and Meridius Akinloye late. Everybody was undercover because they were looking for them to deal with them, for telling them that Papa Awo has lost the election in Oyo and in Ondo. They said it's the slap on late Papa Obafemi Awolowo. It's not just Ajashi. And or eventually the election tribunal restored normalcy, especially I think up to the Supreme Court, and told Papa Ajashi to come back and continue as the chief executive of Ondo State. And by then, a lot of damage had been done. The same thing played out but in Oyo, Ige could not win anymore, even at the Supreme Court. Omololu Oloyin remained and stayed till 31st of January for like almost 3 months, from 1st of October to 31st of January. And the same happened in Enugu, the old Anambra State, where Jim Wobodo lost to Ono under the cover of late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. But in the southeast, they were not that violent. They took it in good faith. They said, okay, oh no, go ahead. And look at another side to it. Some people who were aggrieved were in courts, various courts that time, to the extent that Ono's daughter, Dr. Josephine Ono, was in an aircraft of Nigeria Airways that was coming from Lagos to Enugu. Fokker Friendship 28, F-28 aircraft. And the thing crash-landed in Enugu and consumed the daughter. At the same time, there was this Senator Ofianwale from Abakaliki, present Ebonyi. The man is demised now. The wife, which Ofianwale, with all their 4 children, and even house help, was in that aircraft, and all of them perished. And they were flying back to Enugu to go for the election tribunal, where she was dragging a position she got in her constituency in Njikoka for House of Representatives. I think she was coming from the MPP, the defunct Nigerian People's Party, against her opponent, who was of the MPN, that she alleged was rigged in favor of the MPN because of power of incumbency.
Okay.
The FEDECO, headed by Michael Ali, and Michael Ani from Cross River, late father of the former Minister for Finance. They said that the man had compromised, just the way they are alleging against Mahmoud Yakubu now. That was what happened in the Second Republic. And because of all those issues, crises, and consequences, and so on and so forth, that was where the military came and said, okay, let us restore sanity. And the thing took course from 1984, January 1, till 29th May 1999.
So now, do you think, again, I go back to the question,
Yes.
is it possible for the military to come in now and restore any level of, security or peace or restore order?
We are trying to entrench democracy. So don't even mention anything about the military.
No, it seems to some people that when someone is saying that some persons are fighting to bring an interim government.
Interim could be civilians, of course. It mustn't necessarily be the military. The military have their own responsibility. They are under the control and command of the commander-in-chief, who is Mr. President, and he knows when to use them. And their primary duty is to defend the nation two ways: against defend the territorial integrity of the nation called Nigeria against two things. One, external aggression by our neighboring nations. Cameroon on the east, Chad in the northeast, Niger in the north, and Benin on the west. That's their duty. Then against internal subversion, external aggression and internal subversion. Internal subversion in the sense that there is civil uprising or what you may call civil war. The commander-in-chief will be at liberty to direct them to go and quell, like what we are seeing in Boko Haram area. And you now find out that it's not only in Boko Haram that the military is engaged, those areas, not only in the northeast. If you come to Jos and Middle Belt areas, down to Nasarawa, Benue, we have Operation Safe Haven in Jos. Still, the military is dominant there.
Okay.
You go to the northwest, Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, and so on and so forth. The military are largely involved alongside the police and DSS in managing the security there, because that's where you have a lot of this cattle rustling and armed banditry of very high dimension in terms of kidnappings, killings, armed robberies, and so on and so forth. That's why you see the military, they are now in what they call IS operation, internal security operations, virtually all over the country. Like even here in Lagos, you'll be seeing them in Operation Mesa.
Oh, of course.
Yes. They are doing patrols and as well supporting the civil security agencies. They are supporting the police, they are supporting the SSS, they are supporting, that's the DSS, they are supporting even the customs, as well as civil defense and so on and so forth, to checkmate pipeline vandalization and vandalizing the high tension power supply.
Good. Thank you so much. Now, a little twist to this DSS thing.
Yes.
Is the fact that I mentioned 450, complaints of human rights abuses and violations during, the polls. Now, the federal government has been tasked, to arrest and probe perpetrators of various acts of electoral violence during the just concluded general elections before it's too late. This is after the National Human Rights Commission yesterday disclosed that it received 450 complaints of human rights abuses and violations after the polls. Now, like I mentioned earlier, some persons feel, hey, there are some, like I mentioned, the issue of MC Oluomo saying something and going away with it. All of these thugs that disrupted the polls were sent by some people.
Well, the thing is this.
So if we want to start, we should start with those people who sent the thugs to disrupt the election.
I am coming to that. In the criminal code, I think section 7 makes it very, very clear that there are categories of persons, parties to an offense. That's what they call it. You have principal offender. You have accessory before the fact and accessory after the fact. So that is where all those people you are talking of will be captured. Because when the investigation is going on full swing, the essence is that they will try to ascertain two things. One, did you on your own decide to go and commit a crime against the state, vis-a-vis crime against humanity by maiming and killing people? Then the truth may end up coming out that no, I was sent by Mr. Peter or Mr. Zacchaeus. Which Zacchaeus are you talking about? Where is he? He will now list Zacchaeus, so and so. Now, how did he cause you? Did he force you? He will say no. How did he induce you to do this? He gave me this. He made statement in the radio. We went and he mobilized us. And what you're saying, they have to verify it. And somebody will have to corroborate. Yes, it's true. Mm-hmm. I was there. We are there, and so on and so forth. In that process, those persons you're calling now will now be brought in quietly. They will not need to advertise it too.
Okay.
So that name, that number you're seeing, 400 and whatever number, you may end up seeing the figure doubling. Because by the time they begin to open up, that they will not sink alone, all those persons you're talking of will now be brought in to come and defend themselves. And if they have absolutely no defense to give, they will go in and face the law. Even these are the known cases, so there are so many other isolated cases that has not even been brought to their attention. I'll even give you one now.
All right.
I have somebody who was attacked because he went, this is xenophobic attack, because he was going to vote, and they said that people from certain part of the country should not come out to vote. They attacked him, blasted his face. I have it on my phone, where he has boiled, beaten to stupor. He ran to the police station and told the police that I was even able to identify those ones who participated. Good enough, they stay within the area I take my vehicle to go and service. Okay. This thing I'm telling you happened around Amu Ward of you.
Okay.
So I now asked him, so what action have you taken? He said he went to police. I said, okay. What did they tell you? He said police was telling him that they were not there the day it happened. I told him, no, it will not happen like that. Go back and say that they don't need to be there when it happened. After all, some of them come to meet case files in their various stations, and they'll still get transferred, and the case files will still remain there. That does not in any way close such cases. You know, the cases have come to stay. So through my counseling, because I wanted to see that the law would take its course, it ended up, they told him, okay, go and get your medical report, which he did. They have built the case file. But they cannot go on because there is a team created in line with the committee set up to investigate electoral cases, reported electoral cases. So they have advised him to get set, that they are taking him to Panti with all those suspects that were involved in assault occasioning harm on him. They are not going to treat it just like that, to take them to court, magistrate court, and sort it out there. They'll have to transfer him and the case file with all the parties to the electoral offenses, maybe team at Panti. You understand what I'm saying? And depending on the instruction given from Abuja, that maybe it may not be centralized because it will be difficult in terms of logistics. Okay. So if it is decentralized, it means that even these 400 and something you're saying are not put together and kept in Abuja. They would have been in their various zones to face the offenses they have committed. In other words, like this isolated case I've given you will now add to the 400 and something. So but that's why I'm saying that by the time you begin to bring accessories before, during, and after the fact, you will now see that they may even double the number we have now and even spill into 4 digits. We may have them in thousands if care is not taken.
Now, let me let Nigerians know
Yes.
that, giving more details regarding, the arrest. The IGP said 185 cases of electoral.
Is it 185?
That was what they said.
Okay. The suspects are 400 and something.
No. Let me stay one after the other.
Okay.
185 cases of electoral infractions.
Okay.
Were recorded during the presidential election, with about 203 arrests made.
Okay.
Now, for the governorship and state assembly elections, the police chief stated that 304 electoral breaches were recorded within 578, recorded with 578 offenders.
Okay.
That were arrested so far. And, where is that again? He said, of the 450 complaints received, I cannot see exactly the categorization. This is because, some were about violence,
Yes.
vote buying,
Yes.
voter suppression,
Yes.
intimidation, and hate speech. In all of this, CP,
Yes.
we've not heard that some persons have been prosecuted.
No, you can't prosecute. It's too premature to
we
prosecute
don't-
now.
we've not
You have
heard.
not concluded the investigation now. You can't take cases halfway to the court.
investigation, I want to understand.
Yes, you will not because
How
you're not
long-
an insider.
Okay, how
Yes.
long does it take?
It depends.
Like the woman that was injured
Yes.
on the eye,
On the
right?
eye, yes.
Yeah, huh. Would you want to investigate such a case?
Why will you not investigate it?
That you got so and so persons with a machete
Of course.
attacking a woman, you don't want to investigate that. I want to understand how it happens. Anyway,
Okay, that's
how it works.
the way it works. Is that number one, somebody has been injured. A case file has been opened. The person injured had made statement. You have taken photograph of the injury. The hospital has issued their result, medical report. You are now building the case file.
Okay.
Then you have been able to apprehend A or B for perpetrating that act, which is subject to A or B denying that they are not the ones.
All right. Okay.
You can now see how the
Okay.
investigation is
Okay.
prolonging. Then
Denial. Okay.
Then the victim or the subject will come out and say, no. These two, that day it was a mob action. I think it is only A I cited. This B, I'm not very sure he was part of it. You can see the investigation is taking a different shape now.
Okay.
So one way or the other, one person is being gradually eased out. Then it may get to a point you have a hitch. When the A that the subject would have identified, the victim would have identified, will begin to bring in alibi that on that day he wasn't even there. He may claim he was in Okokomaiko,
Okay.
or that he was in Janiki or in Ebe on that day. Then they will now want to see the witnesses that will corroborate the statement the man has made, whether he was in Ekpe on that day or not. Time and all that. So you can see that investigation will be evolving and opening up a lot of other areas you and I may not even think about. Because while it is being conducted, it's like a life and death thing. The lawyers are there. That is their job. So the lawyers will be guiding his client to be sure that his client does not end up in prison or does not get conviction at the end of the trial. So a good lawyer will always be looking for obstacles to throw in every case, so that in the next 1 or 2 or 3 years, you're still on that criminal case. It's not a political case. It's a criminal case. It is political cases that you have time limits. They will be expecting you within so and so period would have rounded up the case and then give your judgment on it.
Thank you so much, CP. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. All right, my name is Jude Ikami Jude, and I have here with me former Commissioner of Police, CP Chuks Emo. Now, I will open up the studio lines pretty soon, but then don't forget to go there on YouTube and join the conversation, all right? Let me read your thoughts, okay? What you feel about some of these, these DSS issue, story, all right? Threat and all of that, okay? Just go on YouTube, VOP 90.3 FM, yeah? Or you can type it in full, Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and do join the conversation. Now, before I get to open up the studio lines, I want to ask you this question.
Yes.
What is your take on the fact that some people see, or are ascribing religious or ethnic coloration to the obedient movement?
That is all politics. You know, like I always tell you, these Machiavellian manipulations of the 15th century, it has been entrenched. You'll be looking for any weapon to make sure you slice your opponent to pieces. So if you see that sympathy is swaying so much in his direction,
okay,
you think out. You know, they always have think tank. Some people who will be brainstorming, how do we just do this so that we'll dislodge this camp? That's their stock in trade. It's like the statement Iwuanyanwu made last Saturday. Some people just read mischief into it. They quickly began to incite. Their concern and interest is for you to change focus so that you will not go and face the real issue that is on ground. You will now start fighting yourselves again. But unfortunately for them, they failed. Those who wanted to fly that kite. A lot of elder statesmen came up and told them, go back to that clip. That's not what the man said, though. It is you, because you have very wicked and mischievous intention. That is why you have turned it this way. You are looking for people to come and shed blood. Then you keep your families in US, UK, and so on and so forth. And then maybe you'll be sitting in Dubai and causing problems here at home. And that was why, till now, nobody took them serious. They saw it that this is handiwork of extremely wicked and mischievous Nigerians. And it will never be well with them. That's just the truth of the matter. So those who are bringing in ethnic and religious coloration are just doing that out of mischief, just because they want to use it to get what they want, to fulfill their selfish destination and interests. That's the reason they are using all that. That is what we used to call divide and rule tactics.
CP, do you even think that the DSS should come out at this point in time to even say anything? Now, why am I putting this up? It says that it had the agency said it had identified some key players
Let them bring the key
in
players.
the plot for an interim
Let them bring
national
them.
government.
Didn't
It
you-
had
Let them bring them out now and tell us the roles they played, how they played the roles. Then let them make it open since they have come out open. Because that's why I say they are supposed to be covert.
just like you said. I
Yes.
think someone on YouTube is saying his name is MC. He said 15 years in the UK. He's probably watching from the UK. He said he stayed in the UK for 15 years now. That according to him, he said I have never seen any MI5
Yes.
official. MI5 official is the equivalent of our own DSS.
Yes.
He has never seen them.
You can't see
15 years.
You can't see MI5. It's even like in US. If you go to CIA office, their headquarters, you won't even see any sign that this is where CIA office is. The only thing is that the place is heavily secured. But you don't see anybody in uniform or people coming out with GPMG or mounting this. The only thing you might be able to see is all these gadgets, closed circuit cameras all over the critical points and all that. And people will just be moving normal. There are no vehicles marked out.
You can't suspect anything.
You can't even suspect anything. And like we have the SWAT teams in America, special weapons and armed tactical teams, SWAT in US. You hardly see them. But when the chips are down, minute to minute, they will program themselves that so and so time they'll be there. And at the end of the day, you can't even see, due to their training and orientation, they will end up not even having one casualty. But they will make sure that those hardened criminals that wants to, make life uncomfortable for the community or for the state, that if it is fire for fire, they have enough firepower and sophisticated weapons. And in terms of body armor and protection, they have enough. Their vehicles are well secured in terms of armor, up to the tires. The gadgets and the kits they are carrying, you will not, once they cordon the place, there's no escape for you. No matter the caliber of arms and ammunition you have come to perpetrate a crime in that vicinity, you can't go.
Okay.
And they will achieve results. And after that, the SWAT teams will disappear into thin air. You won't see them again.
But in Nigeria, we see DSS.
Let's talk
going
something
to
else.
one Ikoyi apartments here and there. And I don't understand.
Talk something else.
Now, before I get to open up the studio lines finally, let me just bring out this. In his position, his position. Oh, okay. Let me say the what APC is saying now about all of this. Professor Skayama noted that the statement released by the DSS was not different from an earlier alarm that he raised on potential incitement and subversive plot of some interim government proponents last week. Now, in quote, he said, "The DSS is the super spy of the nation and has a duty to do their work. As you can see, their statement confirmed the alarm that I raised earlier about incitement and treasonable felony. This is just to confirm what the APC-PCC brought to the notice of the public last week." Now, let's get to open up the studio lines now.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, let's just get to, open up the studio lines and hear from Nigerians. I am not just going to take calls, okay? Check your time. It's 2 p.m. on the DOT. This is VOP 90.3 FM. Now, I'm not just going to open up the studio lines alone. I would also want to read your thoughts. Let's read your thoughts, all right? That's why if you're watching on YouTube, please go and drop your comment. Go to the comment section and drop a comment so I can read it out in real time. Okay? Now let's do this together. The number to call is 081 644 25875. 081 644 25875. And you can also call 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. You can also call on WhatsApp, that same number, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you can call me on WhatsApp also, 0700 903 903 903, or a direct call. Thank you so much. But before I get to start taking your calls, I want to beg you. I want your opinions. Civil. Keep your conversation, keep your everything civil this afternoon. I'm begging you in the name of God. All right? Thank you so very much. Let's just adhere to that. Let's start taking calls right about now. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Bagada. So, fortunately, I was able to get in today because usually whenever I call radio programs like this, I don't get in. So, firstly, I want to say I'm very, very impressed with the guest on the air today. I mean, it was so informed, educative, and to just sum it up, I'm very, very impressed, and I thank him very much from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. So, personally, I'm a youth. And one of my major angles that I've always talked about, like one thing I'm very particular about is the fact that Nigeria is supposed to be united. I mean, we are united federally, but then the tribal issue and then the religious issue always comes up. So yeah, this last election that just passed, one of the major things that I noticed was going towards the election, whenever I'm listening to the radio like this, sometimes you just hear someone call and then tell you, the Igbos are this, blah, 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 inciting, or not really inciting, but like sort of starting out a fight. And then the radio presenter would have to probably talk about something else and then like douse that. Someone else will call, Nigeria should divide, blah, 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 and all of that. But one thing I noticed is the radio presenters actually do their best to, control the situation, just like you did before the call. You said we should keep it civil. But one thing I would like to see is an active movement against such things, because like the guest on air again rightly said, that some of these things might actually, anybody can call and be like, yeah, I'm Igbo. From your accent, we can hear that you're Igbo. And I want Nigeria to divide, blah, 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 blah. Probably this person has been paid 1,000 naira, I don't know how much. And then like this person is not really representing because I am Yoruba, and I have a lot of Igbo friends. I have a lot of, different people from, all over Hausa, Benue, So it's not really a representation of the actual way everyone thinks. But because, obviously, some people might think this way, which is the tribal issue again that I mentioned. But then there is no active movement to say, and then there are those people who came on here or who came on, on social media to say, blah, 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 Yorubas are chasing out people from blah, 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 all of those kind of things. But there's no active movement to actually counter these things. I don't see any signboard. In Europe, you see signboards, you see active social media campaigns, you see the Premier League saying no to racism, no to this, no to that, but there is no active movement to actually say no to tribalism, no to religious, is it?
Excesses.
I don't even know what it is. Exactly, like extremism, yes. There are no billboards educating the young people. There's no active movement actually trying to desensitize people or trying to counter the effect that these unscrupulous people who just come up from time to time from anywhere can just, put into our minds and pollute our minds. Because I've actually noticed that even though we don't want to talk about it on air or like have that conversation, but tribalism is very real. Like when you discuss with some people, even though it's not a general thing, but the way they think, the way they see their fellow human being, a fellow Nigerian as like the utmost enemy or something, like this is the reason why I'm not progressing. This is the reason why my family is this or whatever. It's like very, very serious. Right. So I wish there would actually be an active movement to counter these things.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, just about 60 seconds, everyone. Okay, if you want to call, just give us a summary, 60 seconds, so we can get as many calls as possible, okay? As many participation as possible. It's a private number. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Hi.
This is Moses.
Welcome.
Man. That's my nickname.
Okay, welcome.
Anyway, I quite disagree with many things I've heard from the students this afternoon. Perception is key. The other court has said something like in Britain, in the Premiership, no to racism. But we know how entrenched racism is still in British football. How players are subtly denied of certain things. So slogans can just be slogans.
Hello? Oh. Please do call back, okay? Call back. 0700 903 903 903. And you can also call 081 644 25875. Again, 081 644 25875. That's the number to call. And I've got a couple of messages here. This person saying, in my 18 years in the DRC, no one talks about religion in secular society, and justice is dispensed for the citizens speedily. Speedily, you said. Thank you so much for.
They have Malaysians, they have Chinese, and they've mandated that they live together, and they're thriving. Why is it that Nigeria can't do so? I'm Yoruba. Why can't we do the same thing? Why is it? There's no excuse. And then you see, look, let's use this analogy. These tribalists are saying Igbo or vice versa. If one needed blood, for example, you see, look, let's use this analogy. Say somebody needed blood and they had leukemia, and the only person that can give blood is somebody from another tribe. Because I'm tribalistic. Let's use common sense. I'll leave it at that. Let's use common sense. Have a good day. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much for calling. Yeah. Whoa. I think I love what he said.
Of course.
I love what he said.
Yes.
Would you say because this blood is Igbo blood, I don't need this one?
Okay.
Or this one is Hausa blood, I don't need this blood?
I wonder.
Oh, good.
We have a long way to go.
I tell you. Okay, 081-644-25875, and you can also call, 0700 903 903 903. Okay, yeah, 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Gambo. I'm calling from Adamawa State.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the program, and it's very informative and exciting. I know it creates a kind of calmness that exists already in Nigeria, because the plan of an interim government in itself is mischievous.
Okay.
The election in 2023 was mad. We all know through words and actions that we have seen on visuals and and whatnot. But we have come to enjoy peace, to pursue hope, to see the crown mandate on May 29. It's just surprising that DSS as an agency now is trying to create a form of discord among Nigerians. I'm so sorry to say that. But if you look at the tension already in the country, we do not. Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please. I can hear you.
Yeah, we do not have the patience now for any more drama at this stage, because the country, there's a lot of boiling pots in various parts of the country. So just like the president, the speaker, the guest on the show today was saying that DSS is sort of like a secret agency. You don't know about it. So it's surprising.
Hello? Oh, so sorry about that. Let's talk to this person. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, boss.
What's your name?
My name is Uche. I'm calling from Italy.
Welcome, Uche.
Yes, boss. I make a still greet Oga CP. Oga CP, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother Uche. How are you?
They're fine, sir. I really appreciate your understanding of the Nigerian political terrain for a very long time. I really enjoyed the story we do. I really enjoy it. Yes. It shows that people like on sit down for front of class.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that compliment.
All right, talk to
well done, sir.
Yeah. Well done, my brother.
Yes, sir. All I can say is that yes, because in Nigeria now, don't they very heat up. It don't very hit up because every day different scenarios, different news. So, but all I can say, this one will be the DSS. They come up with stories and information that say some plots. They say they won't bring in interim national government, whatever. Make them do their investigation. Make them do their findings. It's as simple. I think nobody know their job. Now them know their job. This is what now they know their job. People have been saying all sorts, even before the election and during the election. Something say some persons talk. It happened. At the end of the day, you know, they say a joke. But the thing where somebody talks say na say it go be. It happened. So people, all these things were the way they I don't know. Make them leave this matter as they don't carry the case go court. Make them judge this matter. And with the way it is, me I don't like waiting at the still they understand for the Nigerian system in the sense that as case on the court now. I see no reason why they go still do say I'm sorry, please. If I may sound this way, I want to talk. Please forgive me. I don't think they should do the inauguration whatever ceremony. I'm sorry if I sound negative. Please forgive me. I'm sorry, but I still believe that since the matter don't dey courts, they're supposed to finish this matter for courts. Make Nigeria, make everybody know where we belong.
Okay.
Because every day I watch on the news, every day I watch different protests of all sorts, everything, just the different protests. They say everything. So I believe say that make them trash this whole talk, this whole thing in the courts. Now what me I still believe with this one. This is all I can say.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think who was it the someone what was his name again? In the presidency who came out yesterday to say that everything will continue. The inauguration, the swearing in rather, will continue, and even with the court cases and all of that. And I wanted to raise questions yesterday. You know, what do you think?
No, well, for my own, like I have seen in some cases. Let me take one isolated case and give you an example. You know, Edo State. In 2007, Professor Osumbo was sworn in. He stayed there for like almost 2 years before the tribunal judgment. I can't really remember whether it ended up in appeal court or so. And Oshomole came in almost a year and some months. Yes. So that the person has been sworn in does not mean that is the end of the case. It didn't end. It wasn't only in Oyo. I'm sorry, in Edo. It also happened in Ondo. Agagu.
Oh, yeah.
Late to Olusegun Agagu had stayed close to 2 years. When Mimiko, Olusegun, his namesake, Mimiko, now got his judgment in the court and came and took over the place from him and still did his own 8 years, including Obi in Anambra. That's why we have this staggered election in some of the here and there. You know, the last one was that of Ozodemma in Imo State, when Ehedioha had already done 7 months or thereabout. And the man got his judgment, and the man sitting was asked to go. So...
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Am I calling radio station?
Yes. What's your name and your location?
My name is Steven. I'm calling for Interim.
Okay. Let's hear you.
But
please.
I'm not seeing. They are not responding to me.
I can hear you. Hello.
Oh, They are not responding to me. I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing they are responding to me on YouTube.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just go ahead, please. You are live.
Okay.
You are live, please. Just go ahead. Talk to me. I think I have to let you go.
Okay, no problem. Let me speak out.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, I think you have to call back. Okay, I don't know. Is that network or what? What was that?
In Nigeria. What up?
Oh, sorry. So sorry about that. The number again is 081 644 25875. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. I was speaking the other time. Probably my line was cut off or something. I don't know. It's Gambo calling back from Adamawa State.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel that for one, the state security or hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The security system in Nigeria is supposed to be, I don't know, tighter than this, because if DSS can come out and say they know key elements who have plans to thwart democracy, and undermine civil rule and plunge this country into into a crisis, I think it's something that you act upon. You don't wait till it happens. If America had known about 9/11, do you think they wouldn't have protected World Trade Center? Do you think they wouldn't have protected it? So if you know that something is about to happen, we are tired of dramas in this country. We have reached a point whereby people are now sensitized. There's information everywhere. People get information at the tip of their fingers. So the time now is action. We need development. We are supposed to focus on other things. So I believe that for once, DSS should apologize to the judicial system, because everything is bound by law. You cannot come out now and say that people are going to the court to get frivolous injunctions. It doesn't go well in a country like this. We are supposed to be respecters of law. We are supposed to listen to the law. Whatever it is that the law says, that's what you act on. We should not have people who are above the law or who can just misguide Nigerians and have them committing crimes and all that. So my point is just that DSS should apologize to the judicial system. And we, for once in Nigeria, we should come to respect the law. We should come to respect the constitution, even though it was written with gunpoint on people's head and all, allegedly. So, but we have come to understand that the law binds all of us. So the DSS cannot come on and say people are going to get frivolous court injunctions. It doesn't go well. I don't know. I just let me just lay that out. And hello.
Yeah.
Secondly, I feel that there's a part to the DSS is playing that not coming out with the truth. And why am I saying this? Because their statement in you read the various publications, you see their statement varies. It changes. And I feel for once, even though you're going to paraphrase somebody, you do not paraphrase the subject. You do not paraphrase people who are being talked about. In one case, you have them talking about how they urge media organizations, civil societies to be watchful, so they are not being used as instruments of bad things. And in another one again, you have them cautioning all Nigerians. So my own is, who are you targeting? Who are the people that are the key players? Who are the people that you feel that are instrumental to this so-called interim new government that is coming up? So we need to fight something before it happens. And I'm really sorry for taking our time.
Thank you.
Do have a wonderful day.
Yeah, and you too. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ikamji. How you doing today?
AY. Good to have you join us.
It's always a pleasure, sir. Mr. CP, it's always a pleasure to talk to you as well, sir.
Good afternoon to you too.
AY.
Good afternoon.
AY.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ikamijude.
Oh, Ikamijude. It's the whole thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was like Ikami, then Jude.
No,
like,
no.
You got to specify.
Together, one word, Ikami Jude.
Ikami Jude. I got you.
All right,
Now I know.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I just if everybody I agree everybody listening. The issue of DSS, sir, it's really a laughable matter. Like, for real, it's laughable because this agency is meant to be the equivalent of the FBI in the United States, the MI5 in the UK. Imagine, just close your eyes for a minute, right? And imagine the statement that was released by DSS. It reads more like, if somebody closed your eyes and didn't tell you it was a state security service, it reads more like a micro-blogging post, like a post from Linda Ikeja, like a gossip blog. It reads more like gossip because from what they're telling us is they have information, they are eyeing people. My brother, why are you telling us? What is our own there? You know, people that want to subvert democracy and subvert the law. Well, why are you telling me? What do you want me to do about it? Why don't you go to your job and arrest them? And imagine the FBI coming out and saying, there's a terror plot. They're just going to splat it out. We're watching so people in so city for terror plot, telling everybody. They're meant to work. It's supposed to be a secret service, if I'm correct, right, sir? Secret.
Yes.
Meaning hidden. Meaning nobody's meant to know who you are or what you're doing. There's a what's it called over here? A principle over here that the FBI follow. They do not comment on ongoing cases. Meaning zip. They won't tell you zip about zip. You might be the only people that they're investigating, they're the only ones that will know that, and they'll tell you either you are subject of the investigation or you are a target of the investigation. They will tell you, you can't tell anybody, but they won't spread it out to people. The DSS is a joke. Under this APC government, the Nigerian DSS has turned to a joke. Because if the DSS is not a joke, why would the son of the DSS director be taking pictures with the presidential candidate or the president-select of INEC? There are pictures of the DSS director's son taking pictures with him. You can search it while you are there. I'm not making this up. Now imagine Christopher Wray taking pictures with Hunter Biden.
Okay.
And you tell me the country, they will not summon Christopher Wray. The Republicans will not summon Christopher Wray the very next day and start grilling him like a barbecue in front of everybody. But since this country is a joke, nothing will happen. Nothing. And they're coming out with statements threatening Nigerian citizens that they should not protest. Oh my God. My brother, we are heading towards Nazi Germany. We are heading towards we are heading towards a fascist state. They say citizens to go to court with their grievances. They've gone to court. Now, a fundamental right under this evil constitution that has been written, no disrespect to the constitution, but it's evil. The contents in there are evil. The 1999 constitution does not have your interest of you and I. Because under that same constitution, there's a right to protest as long as it's civil. I believe that's the only constraint. They're protesting civilly. They're not doing anything. This statement from DSS, it reads like a statement written by the spokesperson of the APC, any one of the talking heads they have. Pick one. DSS wants... Is this not the same DSS that went to... They said they went to court because they wanted Godwin Emefiele. They wanted Godwin Emefiele to change the Naira policy. They went to court and lied that it was sponsoring terrorism. Before the judge told them, "Is it the same Godwin Emefiele, the governor of the..." They didn't even have the effrontery to put his title because they wanted to sneak it. Once we start politicizing, not once. They have politicized a security agency that's in charge of all of the national security of Nigerian citizens. My people, are you listening? This country is descending into fascism right in front of our very eyes. Mr. TP, tell me this is not fascism. The APC are the ones in charge of the presidency. They are in charge of the Senate. They are in charge of the House. And they come to tell us that there's a plot to install an interim government. What kind of deceit is that? Who has the power to install? Who has all the branches of government? Who has the power to install an interim government? What kind of joke are they trying to play on people? But people should wake up. This is a merry-go-round of deceit. Because Nigerian citizens, you do not have the power to install any dirty, what's it called, interim government. It's a joke. It's a foreshadowing. It reads more like a foreshadowing, like a test of the water. They say people should not protest. This is the same General Buhari when he lost the third time. Didn't he protest? Wasn't he protesting for like a week straight? Him and his vice at that time, except I have memory loss. This is a country where MC Matchum Pekin will threaten an entire indigenous people who are not a minority in their country, and it doesn't even matter if they were a minority in their country. Oh. He threatened an entire group of people, and they came out and said, DSS, you know, on him. I hope I'm seeing, and everybody can see the hypocrisy they're trying to perpetrate. Mr. CP, this is fascism. This is the beginning of fascism in Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate that so much. All right. VOPFM 90.3. Please, like I said, keep your comments civil and just keep it short. Keep it 60 seconds if possible, so we can take as many comments as possible. All right? Thank you very much. The number to call is 081 644 25875 and 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good afternoon.
Keep it 60 seconds.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you. What's your name and
my
your
name is Stephen. I'm calling from my name is Stephen. I'm calling from Italy.
All right, go ahead quickly, please.
Yeah, I want to say something about DSS.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Okay. When I come through to look about our on the 18th of March and on the 25th of February, well, I have my mind that we don't have a country called Nigeria again. If something can happen on the 18th of March, people was killed, people was injured, and Oluomo said something nobody cared to ask in school, and Oluomo a question. The following day, they come out with it, they destroy ballot box, they beat people up. So what will happen for 2027? If something happened 2023, now what will happen 2027? Tulumbu have not been sworn in now. This thing happened 2023. What will happen 2027? That means nobody will vote again. Now DSS should go after MC Oluomo. DSS should go after the federal, the state government of Lagos. They know what he did to Oluomo. They compare themselves together, they deal with people, they beat people up, everybody go back mercilessly. Now DSS is saying that they want to arrest source of group. No, it doesn't work like that. Look at Italy, look at Netherlands, look at Germany, look at Austria. Everybody go according to the law. No one will do that. Maybe you have the right to intimidate someone. No, it's not possible. Police will come after you.
All right.
Huh?
All right.
It doesn't mean that you are from Italy, you are from Switzerland, you can't travel to Italy. You are from Italy, you cannot travel to Germany. That is Europe.
Right.
Once, but in Nigeria, no, this is so many things is not right. Many of our brothers, they left that country because of intimidation. We have everything what it takes in our country, but still yet we are not getting it right. Why?
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to let you go now.
Right.
Thank you.
Look at the road here. Everybody obey the law, but Nigeria, no.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Joseph from Surrey.
Welcome, Joseph.
What was the name of this station?
Hello?
Sorry, what is the name of this station?
Hello? Oh my God. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
My name is Kenneth. I'm calling from Ladipo.
Okay. Quickly, please. 60 seconds.
I'm listening to the program you guys are about. I thank the guest and I thank you for the post. But what I want to really say is that the problem of Nigeria is not only the politicians, although the politicians is the major problem that we have. Another problem we have is tribalism and the religious problem. Why I say tribalism is because an Hausa man, when he sees, and I'm not saying this because I'm an Igbo, when he sees an Igbo man progressing in his own land, it is then that he will remember that this man is not from that tribe. The same thing with Yoruba. I'm not saying this because I'm an Igbo. That's the problem. The same thing with some part of Igbos. When they see an Hausa man progress or Yoruba man progress, then they will remember that this man is not from this area. That's number one problem that we have. The second problem that we have is that our religious leaders are not helping matters. When they go to the pulpit, the politicians are really using them to divide this country. Let's say, for instance, you will see an imam in pulpit preaching against another tribe.
You have just 60 seconds, please. 60 seconds.
I have only
60 seconds, please, so we can hear from other people.
Okay.
Thank you.
He will continue to preach against other religions, and they even need to divide the country because the politician has really paid them to do so. I think that's the main problem that we have in this country.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate your call. 081-644-25875. That's the number to call. Or you call 0700-903-903-903 on WhatsApp. Okay? Let's take more calls. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I want to make it clear. I don't think our problem will have been announced. Our differences wouldn't have been announced if we have done the right thing the way it's supposed to be. If we have done things the way it's supposed to be. The INEC people had 4 good years, all resources were provided, to conduct a free and fair election.
Yeah.
I believe in the university back then, we do conduct election, student union election, free, fair, and clear. And there wouldn't be rancor, there wouldn't be issue. The same assignment was given to some professors to conduct with all the necessary resources given to them, with good time, 4 good years given to them to do this simple thing and see the way they messed up the whole system. By today, DSS wouldn't have had any reason to come out and be issuing statements. By today, political parties will have calmed down. Everybody will have moved on. I don't think any of these people that that ran for this presidential election are demons. No, they are human. And we believe in their capacity, in their own capacity. We know each and every one of them, at least that they will deliver. We know that at least they will do something that will bring good meaning to the lives of Nigerians.
Okay.
But INEC makes the whole things up. INEC makes the whole things up. And today now we are not even happy. Everybody is sad. There are issues everywhere. The whole thing we should just the whole thing should be blamed on INEC, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you. 60 seconds, please, like I said. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Please,
hello.
Good afternoon. This is Chus calling from Italy. This is Chus calling from Italy.
All right, Chus.
And I don't have much to say, but the only thing I have to say is that for those military men, law enforcement agencies that gave their life to this country called Nigeria, as they will be crying, because my father was one of them. They gave everything totally to this country. Today, look at what these politicians are turning this country into. Can you just imagine? What are the legacy looking for the future generation in Nigeria today? God, I wept, I cried. February 25th, what happened? March 18th, MC Oluomo could come out and say, if you are not Yorubas, you cannot do what? You cannot cast your vote. The DSS, they kept quiet. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. The man is working freely. Maybe tomorrow, it will become the national security. To who? To Tinubu. Who? What else have we not seen in Nigeria? What else have we not seen in Nigeria? What are we going to see again that is going to be new thing in Nigeria? This is the only thing I have to say. For those that give their life for this country called Nigeria, God, they will be in grief, they will be crying. My brother, sorry. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Emotions here and there. Just keep it cool, okay? Take it easy. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and your location?
Problem we are facing now is...
What is your name? It's quite noisy. Hello. Please move away from your radio set. Hello? Okay, please, if you must call, endeavor to move away from your radio set so we can hear each other, okay? Yeah. 081 64425875. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Afternoon. Olu is on the line.
All right.
Yeah. My own contribution about this thing. People have been calling MC Oluomo. But the root of MC Oluomo has a root. It has a root. If you can remember, during the Labour Party campaign in Lagos, there was a guy who was in the front. Where's MC Oluomo? Where's MC Oluomo? We want to tell him where he belongs to. Where's MC Oluomo? He was shouting, ranting on that campaign. Simply because the INEC said they want to use one of the MC Oluomo facilities. Since then, there have been raining abuse caused on MC Oluomo. This is the genesis of everything. Now everybody is shouting, Oluomo said nobody should vote if it's done for APC or this and that. But nobody go back to the genesis of the whole issue, how it started. This is the same thing they rain caused on us, we Yorubas, and the outside during the year 2015. They were abusing us, rain caused on us. I knew if Obi did not come out to say we want to become a president, all these crises wouldn't have been up to this. The tension wouldn't have been to this extent. This is what caused majority problem that we are facing today. Nigeria. It's not for Nigeria, it's for their own. Because if you see the people that are calling, you will know where they are calling, the way they are talking and everything. And the election is being held for 18 candidates. Why are they the only one? The number two service don't even pressurize things the way they are pressurizing things. And those people that voted for the PDP and the APC and the other parts, are they not Nigerians? Are they aliens? they should stop the emotions. Everybody have emotions to attach to it. The matter is already in the court. So they should leave everything for court to judge. APC is not INEC. PDP is not INEC. Labour Party is not INEC. So none of them that can declare results. If they have their fight, they should move to court. Under Nigeria is banana republic, no banana republic. It has been banana republic. Gradually we will get there. The way America is today and the Britain and every one of them. Gradually we will get things right. This is not how it was 1999. This is improving. Even the killing is not like before. Even the killing in the Southeast is even worse than even anywhere during this election. Nobody will talk about it. It's MC Oluomo. So we know what took place in the Southeast. If they investigate election in the Southeast, even the Labour Party will lose more votes. That is sure. That is my contribution.
Thank you so very much for that contribution. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and thank you again. Okay, we've got Lagos is 2:45 p.m. if you want to know. But then we've got a couple of minutes to wrap up the show, okay? But you can still call in. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, what I do this?
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, sir. I greet you, sir. CP, what else, sir?
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My only contribution is that, though I'm no attacking anybody, but concerning what this last call I just said now, and then, the most of program I've listened to in the radio, they always call. Is it Mr. Ambassador Musbaraji?
Sorry?
Have
What?
The person I just called now.
No.
Okay. The thing is that I don't know. Maybe our government should look onto this tribalism issue, because so that in the next 4 years or 8 years, this thing is not on call again. Because before now, everybody has been united. Everybody has been, things have been going on. But when it comes to, political something, so they'll something like divide theirs or something. So now Nigeria and everybody just mind their own business. Everybody was fine, you understand? So for how long have we go to countries like this? And someone still come out on the air, say the election is perfect. Yes, as much as they go say we should move on. That's the thing that they always say, we should move on. We should move on this election that, they use talk, they shake people, I say you should move on. I don't get it, I don't understand.
Thank you.
I said that the child told me, MC Oluomo, see what he did before election. If the election day, you see what happen. No, I don't go shouting.
Thank you so very much for calling. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hello, this is Mr. Anthony.
Okay, welcome. Where you
from
calling
Chicago. From Chicago.
Welcome.
Yes, I want to make a little contribution, very little.
All right.
Yes, DSS of Nigeria is something. There's no perfect crime to start with. From the press release, they said the election was free and fair. That's where it got shot. They got shot by themselves. First of all, international observers and we ourselves, even you that are there, know that the election was not free and fair. How can the DSS of Nigeria say the election was free and fair? Are they INEC? Are they defending INEC? Are they defending? DSS is supposed to be neutral in any government that is coming. That's also part. They are only say that thing to scare people out from doing any protest. That's where I pick their press release. It is nothing to do, just to scare people out from doing any protest. There's nobody that tried to trample any what they call the government. No, they have 100% in control of the government. Buhari there is a military officer, so he knows better. And then the information they gave to us, are we going to use it to cook soup or what? Are they not going to supposed to use it by themselves? Are they sending the information to the masses so we can now start running elter scatter? Or to do what? So, I mean, the end of it that Nigeria, this election and the Nigerian it is becoming, try to become a one nation party. They try to make APC in control of everything. Nobody wants to break. Look at MC waiting the column. That person, the DSS invited that person. Have they called him? Have they arrested him? It's obvious to everybody. Nigeria is crying about this person, and they look the other way around. Nobody talk about it. They are not talking about something they already know. They can say people are doing this. Then the people, let's know the people. My brother, I'm very, very sorry that Nigeria is becoming a kangaroo state.
Thank you so very much. I have to let you go now. Maybe I should take one more or maybe just two more calls and we wrap things up this beautiful afternoon. Yeah. But CP Chooks is still here. Sir, maybe I should take your parting shot before we go quickly.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to say this. Before your parting shot, authorities in the United States have granted permission to supporters of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to use a PAC to protest the outcome of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. The U.S. government has given the party, the protesters over there, to go ahead and, do whatever they want. Now, to this particular one where, a former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George, said he will wait for the outcome of the presidential election petitions tribunal before leaving Nigeria. What do you have to say? Maybe that should be your parting shot. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the statement of Chief Bode George is appropriate. Judiciary.
You think he should still leave Nigeria? Or
Well,
just take things away?
well. Everybody is free to stay where he or she wants. And when an old man like that, who is almost 80 years, if he's not up to 80 by now, and had served his fatherland, I think he spent about 25 years in the military, in the Navy, and public service. And thereafter, he has been in active politics since 1999 till date. And the way he saw things going is a question of his opinion.
Bode George is 77.
Is he 77?
21st of November 1945. 77 years old.
Okay. Mistakenly, I've added 3 years to his age. That would have been an error somewhere anyway.
Okay.
Whatever it is, he has served. He's an elder statesman, well respected. And he's free to stay in any part of the world he likes. And at the same time, you find out that his statements are very civil and very matured. And he believes so much in due process and the rule of law. And that is why he said, just like where the hope of the common man lies, and that is the judiciary, it should be the last hope of the common man. So he's watching patiently to see the outcome of what will come out from the judiciary. If it goes the way he feels that justice has not been served, I strongly believe that that will add in making him still think of leaving the country. Because what that automatically means is that there's no more hope for the common man in the place called Nigeria. For him.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think I should correct this quickly, right?
Okay.
He was born on the 21st of November 1945. So he is 78 years old.
Okay. Okay.
Not 77, it's 78.
78
this
years.
year.
Okay.
Okay. VOP 90.3 FM. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. Time to go. Thank you to everyone who's participated, those who join us online, those who called from the diaspora. Thank you so very much. I do these every weekday from Monday to Friday. Okay, from 12:30 up until 3 p.m. My name is Jude. Do follow me on social media, on Facebook or on Instagram and all of that, all of the socials. Ikami Jude at Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. That's it. IKAMIJUDEH. All right. And do follow us, VOP, across all socials also at VOP 903 FM. Thank you again. We'll be here tomorrow, but we might not discuss politics tomorrow. I don't know yet, but hey, tomorrow I'll be here. Thank you so much, CP.
Thank you very much.
God bless
and
you.
Thank you to the listeners.
Bless you again.
Bless you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, my job here is done for today. And from me to you.